I saw that he made a response yesterday, so I was like, oh, let's watch it on stream together with all my friends, all my homies. So I figured I would. Listen, I'm sure I don't have an absolutely massively in-depth understanding of the situation. I've seen a few videos, I've reacted to a couple different things, and it seems like a lot of moving parts here. But frankly, the fact that this is still going on is silly. It's kind of insane. And to be honest with you, I think it's a bit immature. I understand why Froggy Fresh would be very upset, considering this directly impacts him. But at the end of the day, this is my understanding. Froggy Fresh was supposed to fight at Creator Clash. That's what it's called. There was some happenings that happened where he put some stuff on Twitter. Frankly, I think Anissa's mom was being immature as well. They should have talked to her, but they might have behind the scenes. And he said some inappropriate things, or things that they perceived as inappropriate. iDubbbz basically asked him to take it down. Maybe indirectly, but he got the message. He didn't. And then he got kicked from Creator Clash. You could probably argue iDubbbz being petty. Maybe. I don't really know. Frankly, I don't care. I think that, hey, iDubbbz is being kind of annoying and petty. Okay. It's not that deep. I know that there's part of it has to do, I understand it's part of it has to do with Sam Hyde and iDubbbz having like a bit of a back and forth. But at the end of the day, listen, Sam Hyde, he's funny. I see some clips from him. He's also not somebody that mainstream individuals want to associate with. He has a bit of an interesting past. And he's really edgy. And this is an event. This is a charity event called Creator Clash. And even if it wasn't charity, it doesn't matter. It's a business that they want to run, and they want to break out of the YouTube sphere and make it into the mainstream sphere. The YouTube sphere is very big, but it is not the entire world, right? There are people with millions and millions of followers and viewers, and this is the YouTube sphere. It's huge, and this is the real life sphere. It's massive. And if you want to break out of it, you have to leave some of the bullshit drama in the YouTube sphere. And so unfortunately, Sam Hyde is bullshit drama sometimes. We all are. But if you want to break out, that's what it is. And so it seems like a hard line. We're going to disconnect from Sam Hyde. That's it. Very logical, very real world, very normal, very understanding. We should all understand this. You don't have to like iDubbbz, but that's what it comes down to. It's a professional business move to disconnect himself from Sam Hyde in multiple capacities. I think part of it was that Froggy Fresh wanted to be like trained by Sam Hyde. And they didn't want to pay Sam. That makes sense because they give them, I think, like $15,000 or something for trainers. It all makes sense. And this sensationalized drama farm out of the situation is so stupid. This doesn't matter as much as people think it matters. That's it. So iDubbbz decided to respond with his side of the story. And that's where I'm at. And that's the most normal human being perspective you're going to have. Oh, this guy is really toxic. He doesn't want to associate with him and he wants to grow his business. Oh, that makes sense. So let's get it going.
And you were a pawn. It's like you came back and you were a pawn in some game of 4D chess. And I think you found out that iDubbbz and Anissa don't play games.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another video. Brief update. I am healed from Creator Clash 2. It was a success. Alex Wasabi beat me up. He won his fight fair and square, and I have all the respect for Alex. He's a good competitor.
Wow, iDubbbz just keep getting his ass kicked. But God bless him for keep taking the licks and doing another Creator Clash.
And
it's a dry drama month. Maybe, but that's the problem, is people keep looking at things through drama. Like, oh my God, we need... Dude, my advice, because this is something that has been a big part of my content for like 6 months, is like one of the things that I did I took like this weird step back and like restarted the channel and whatever, is because like I had a channel that centralized around like some form of drama, and if I didn't have like a good video, I didn't know what to talk about. And then you unintentionally start searching for things that don't matter and you sensationalize them and you go like, oh my God, this actually is a thing. And you start talking about it, blah, 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 and it just kind of steamrolls you and it makes you look like an idiot overall. Now, if I don't have anything to talk about, what did we do yesterday? What did we do the other day? We watched Jesus drill rap. The video didn't do amazingly, but that's okay. That's okay. We have a little bit of Illuminati stuff. Woo, Jesus drill rap, some crazy influencer girl, little Hassan. Did a video reaction to a Jubilee video. Those are always great. Little low tier God action, another Jubilee video, Tess Holiday, water TikTok. I watched a water TikTok video. Hey, you just do it and you have fun. But you don't need to constantly force drama. It's embarrassing for you,
I have respect for all the other fighters on the Creator Clash card. And thank you to all the fans who came. It was an amazing event. I'm very happy. Very happy, very emotional. Awesome experience. I'll never forget it. Having said all that, you guys are here for the juice and the grease. So I'm going to give you guys the grease and the juice. And that all has to do with Froggy Fresh. The reason I didn't address any of this sooner is because I was terrified of jeopardizing the success of the event, because there are a lot more people involved in this than just Anissa and I.
I just don't believe that. I believe that it's because he just wanted it to like go away by itself, but it keeps boiling up because there are like people who are boring and have historically sensationalized every part of their life, and for some reason people love listening to these types of people. And it's like, this is just stupid. It should go away, but they've been constantly jerking it off. You know, and to the people who are, you know, very controlled or very by individuals who have had a history of hyper sensationalized content and absolutely no credibility, think about that. Think about what it means for you as a career, and also the way that people look at you and your dignity as an individual. So.
And I didn't want to fuck it up for them. These are people that I really care about. And I felt like it'd be very selfish if I was like, I understand public perception right now, guys. I'm just gonna make a quick 10-minute video and I'll squash all the rumors, I'll squash all the beef. I have no idea what public perception for this video is going to be. That's why I'm doing it now, right? The event is now over with. I can risk it, you know? I can air my grievances and we can see where it goes. I need to bring you guys up to speed on where I'm at as a person and as a content creator. My philosophy for a while was, well, people will figure it out through the videos I make. But the problem is the videos I make, I mean, I sort of avoid speaking from the heart. I'm just gonna focus on—
Hey, thank you so much for the 3-month small gut. Are you gonna watch the H3 Alia interview today? Yeah, I think so. That's on the docket, so.
A thing on a piece of content. I think I have bad associations with sharing my life on the internet. I'm like, no, that shouldn't be my thing. Like, leave that up to the vloggers. But I think it's important to share where I'm at, so none of what I'm talking about in this Froggy Fresh video feels like I'm being hypocritical or, you know, I'm misleading you in any way. I think a lot of the content I've made has been irresponsible and misguided. And I think I've hurt a lot of people with the content I've made. You know, despite many people being entertained by it, you know, I'm not trying to take that away from you. If you feel like you've learned important lessons or you have grown as a person because of the content I've made, I don't want to take that away from you. With some good can come a lot of bad. And I think I've done a lot of bad. And, you know, at the bare minimum, I've just put a lot of negativity out there in the world. And I'm working on not doing that. Okay. I plan on expanding on all of this in a further video.
I mean, like, I think we've heard this plenty. Like, he used to make very edgy content, and he got older, and he's like, wow, I wish I wasn't so edgy. It's not just getting older, though. It's getting older, but it's also understanding that there are like 100 different spheres and like or 1,000 different spheres of different people. When I first started making content on the internet, I'm an edgy guy that means well, and people around me are edgy people who meant well. And so when I would make edgy content, I always knew I meant well, and I always thought that everybody interpreted it pretty well. And then as you move on, you realize that that's not always the case. That there are people who are like legitimately like bigoted, that like they think that you're being racist and they love it. So it puts a damper on it. You know, I still make my edgy jokes now, but what do I do? I do it in a very long form, you know, type of a way, so that this way, you know, you see an edgy joke in a 40-minute video, you're not going to think I'm some kind of like a whatever bigot or something, because you know you see the rest of it. So, but that's pretty much it. Not really that deep. Also, as you get older, you should change. If you don't change as you get older, you're kind of a loser. It's really weird. It's not something to brag about. How, oh, I haven't changed. I haven't evolved. Wow. Very impressive. You know, embarrassing stuff.
I think there's a lot of content from over the years and some behind the scenes that I'd love to share with you guys. I think it would give clarity to where I'm at. But in this video, that's probably about all I can say on any of it. I don't want to detract from what the focus is. And the focus is kicking Froggy Fresh from the Creator Clash card. The main reason Froggy was kicked from the card was for collaborating with Sam Hyde.
Okay,
and
there you go.
You know, for anyone who's been following the story, that's fairly obvious. Froggy has explained his side of the story multiple times, and unfortunately, he's been perpetuating a narrative that it's about OnlyFans or that it's about Anissa's mom, and that's extremely deceptive because he knows why he was kicked from the card. The one indication I gave him was Sam Hyde, and I wasn't unclear about that. Anyone who's mentioning the fact that Harley trained with Sam Hyde for the year previous, that was before Sam was saying this about my wife.
I don't think so, Anissa. Bitch. Ho. Fucking Anissa. What an ugly piece of shit. But look how beat she is. Oh, nice jack-o'-lantern teeth. That's like I can't wait to see what she looks like when she's 32. Her teeth look like a pumpkin head. Like it's
okay, so it's more personal than I was saying. I mean, I thought it was because he didn't want to have that being associated with him because, you know, Sam Hyde is like a lot of bad shit around him. But this is also a perfectly fine reason. This is something I talk about all the time. Like you don't talk about like another man's wife like that. That makes you not a man. Hot take. So, okay.
It's the Anissa Joma hole stretcher.
At least not like that. You can make reasonable criticisms, but just being like toxic about somebody's wife is just like childish shit.
I'm sending this to Anissa's OnlyFans. It goes directly into charity. Yeah. Everybody hates him and his wife's a slut.
So yeah, now that this guy is on the daily insulting my wife, I think it's pretty fair to, you know, not want to associate with him in any way. We did ban Sam from the first event, so it's not as if he's confused about where he stands in all this. I don't like him, and Froggy knows that. Froggy knows that I don't like him. Of course, that's why he was. Also, let's be real. Hardly. This. I don't know if it was like an official training with, but Harvey is also a bigger content creator than Froggy Fresh. Froggy Fresh, you know, isn't pulling the same as he used to, and that's not an insult. That's just kind of a reality. And so, like, you're not going to get as many liberties. That's how the world works. If you're not as big, you get fewer liberties. That's why I get lots of liberties because I'm super big. That's pretty much it. You know. Was banned. You know, none of this
Ultimate
is like...
Kill Storm super chatted $5. Hey Papa.
What's up,
Would
brother?
love to see you react to more finance videos like Caleb Hammer.
Okay.
Watching you react to entitled adults who are bad with money is fun.
Okay. I might just do that. Thank you.
News to Froggy. Froggy knew all of this going into it. For anyone who's under the impression that Froggy has been like reasonable and chill and respectful through this whole process, he hasn't been. He's been a piece of shit. Okay. I'm not happy with how he's behaved. He's talked mad shit about me.
Ian doesn't want people who are bigger and more talented than him upstaging him. That's what it is.
Anissa.
Ian's masculinity has been completely removed via Anissa.
Participants of the event.
This is really a lot of weird, tender, soft people. Creator Clash people are real, like, these type of people. You know what I mean?
Wow. How embarrassing for him. It's what a weird thing. I can't even describe to you what's happening right now. Like, bro, this is... I mean, listen, I have to say I have to respect iDubbbz for what he's doing. He's trying to cultivate a real thing that's taken seriously, the Creator Clash. Whether you think boxing is cool or not, that's what he's trying to come down to. And like for Froggy Fresh, to him, it's like, oh, he feels wronged in some capacity. And I understand that. You know what I mean? Because you know what? Even if you're not necessarily wronged, but you feel wronged, I get that. Because, you know, sometimes things are unfair. You know? And... I think that Froggy Fresh probably has this idea that like Sam Hyde's this like really awesome guy, and that iDubbbz is being so stupid and irresponsible, and that it's blah blah blah. And I get it, I understand. You know, Sam Hyde is still LOL edgy fun. You know, and I get a giggle out of some of his stuff when I watch TikTok and shit. I get it, but you know, at the end of the day, man, like I don't know what to tell you. And now what you're doing is you're just kind of destroying a bridge with somebody, and you're taking this hardline stance in like a pro Sam Hyde case, and it's fine to be friends with them or whatever, but you're destroying the rest of your shit. And you look unreasonable. Like, I'm just letting you know. Like, I don't care. Hot take. I think I'm the most normal person on the internet, and I'm weird as fuck. And that's not because I'm normal. It's just because everyone on the internet is fucking psychotic and terminally online. And, like, that's how people would look at you. That's how normal people would look at this. Go like, oh, you're kind of being stupid. They're going to look at you like, oh, that's dumb. Like, that's what's happening. The only reason you don't think that is because, like, you're friends with online people. And people online, you know, they're different. They're online. They're online people. People online are very involved in this really bizarre fucking sphere, so...
The event itself...
This is really like the patty cake league for like social media boxing. You know?
He doesn't like the culture of Creator Clash, and he mentioned that.
And Chris Raygun and all these people, it's like some big ethot worshiping party at these things. And I don't get it. I don't get what all this shit is all about. Like, everybody's there to worship ethos or fucking ethot or like touching ethot's titty or pussy.
To be honest, I thought it was quite the gift to you that we'd kick you off the card. You have no more obligations, and you can immediately just pivot into boxing for misfits. It's like, that's the culture that you want. You want the non-sissy, you want the macho dude traditional boxing culture, so go over there and box for them. You don't even have to miss that many months of training. You've been training. So hop on one of those cards. But unfortunately, Froggy doesn't want to hop on one of those cards because he thinks the skill level is too high.
Personally, in my opinion, I think the talent at Misfits and Happy Punch is in a different league that is out of my league.
Damn. That's a low blow. Showing Boogie. Damn.
Footwork is amazing.
And then right here is down. You stop. I mean, come on. It turns quickly from boxing to assault.
Why didn't the referee stop that guy sooner? What the fuck?
Just fight someone who's weaker than you.
So I'm done with boxing. I can fulfill my current obligations. If for some reason Creator Clash changed their mind, I could fulfill my current obligations. I'm not interested in going further in any other boxing.
It's such a fucking cop-out that you're like, all right, I'm such a victim for getting kicked off the Creator Clash event when I knew what would get me kicked off the Creator Clash event, and now you're like, I don't want to box anymore. It's like, come on. If you look at my text exchange with Froggy, it's very clear that I didn't want to kick him from the card. I got to the point where I was like, okay, I don't want you working or training with Sam Hyde, but you're doing that, so all right, I'll look past it. I don't want you making content with Sam Hyde, but it seems like that's a real deal breaker.
Okay. I gotta read those text messages now. All right.
Interested in going further in any other boxing.
It's such a fucking cop-out that you're like, all right, I'm such a victim for getting kicked off the Creator Clash event when I knew what would get me kicked off the Creator Clash event, and now you're like, I don't want to box anymore. It's like, come on. If you look at my text...
Hey, dude, I just want to clarify that I'm not mad at you. I just want this event to go well, and part of that is trying to be proactive about things. I just want to find out a solution. I really appreciate your friendship, and I don't want to feel like I've upset you. I don't understand what's wrong. Can I not work with Sam Hyde? He's been very nice to me. It's just a tricky situation. I personally have been hurt by a lot of things he's done. If he's your friend, that's totally understandable. I just don't get along with him, and I'm afraid of having him associated with the event. There are others involved in the event that also aren't comfortable with, and that says view all, but I can't see the rest of it. Yeah, he's my friend. I don't understand what me going to Rhode Island to work with Sam has to do with anyone who is uncomfortable with him. They don't have to see or work with him. Right. But it's just the idea that the understanding, and this is part of the reason people like Sam Hyde, is because he trolls the fuck out of people. Like the first Creator Clash, before he was banned from the event, he wanted to show up, and then he couldn't. And so since he couldn't show up, he had like people there selling Sam Hyde shirts or whatever, giving them out. He's there to troll the event. That's why people like him. That's just objectively. Like, that's just what it is. That's why you like him. You like Sam Hyde because he does these things. And he's very open about it. Sam Hyde will be like, yeah, I was there to fuck around. And people are like, no, he would never do that. It's like, yes, he would. So that's the fear. He was going to last time. He might again this time. It's just a fear of somebody who's not a positive public figure making Creator Clash look like a joke. Could you imagine if there was this? Just think about it like from this perspective. Imagine the Creator Clash is a pretty big event that's very public, right? And more people are looking at it. And you have this huge drama where some dude shows up and starts doing some wild shit, and people start going like, what the hell is this? And you start looking at the Sam Hyde, and you start seeing the different information about Sam Hyde, which is very edgy. There's some people who talk about how he like donated to a Nazi or something. I don't really know about that. I'm not going to say that he does. But the point is that spirals out of control. And now all of a sudden people are Googling Creator Clash. Sam Hyde's the first thing that comes up in the news. And then you're looking at Sam Hyde, and then you see Sam Hyde's a bad guy. And then now you're like, well, this is not a very legitimate business. It's a destructive thing to the business. Like, I don't know what else to tell you guys. Capitalism poggers. What do you want me to tell you? Like, that's what it comes down to. Anyway, that's what it is. So, I mean, the Sam Hyde pipeline, yeah. And Sam Hyde probably knows that. He knows it'll be good for him and his person and his business and whatnot. So he's also pulling in a capitalism, LOL, you know, very poggers, guys. I'm not saying that capitalism is bad, by the way. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. Anyway, I agree. Privately, what you do is absolutely your only business. But because we are running a public charity event, we have to be careful about these things because you do represent the event in some ways. That's absolutely true. Harley, you can work with Sam Hyde, but it ended up attracting a bad crowd. And I got harassed online about it a lot because it went public display. That's nice of you to give Harley permission to work with Sam Hyde. I didn't know I needed your permission as well. That's just very passive aggressive. You could tell like Froggy Fresh is being passive aggressive here. Oh, I probably should. I'm blocking it a little bit. I'll unblock it. But you see, yeah, I mean, Froggy. It's not about permission. He just called and asked if it would be cool with it because he was making content around it. Oh, so the guy asked him. That makes sense. The first guy, Harley. So what are we actually discussing right now? I'll work with Sam Hyde. If I work with Sam Hyde, are you going to prevent me from fighting in the event? He actively makes content about wanting my marriage to end, that my wife is evil and hasn't respected my boundaries. I don't feel comfortable having him associated with the event. I'm wondering if you can understand where I'm coming from on that. Bro, this is totally respectable and normal. This is like actual adult shit. Like, I know that online people struggle with boundaries because they're dumb fucking babies. But this is like real shit. And this is something that I have to respect because he's asserting a boundary and he's being honest. Hey, this guy has been harassing me in some capacity and he's bad for the event and he makes me uncomfortable. He talks shit about my wife and my marriage and I don't like that. And I hope you can respect that. How the fuck can you not respect that? It's a childish baby babbling fucking piss brain to not look at that and go, I understand that and I can respect that. That's a very normal human being thing. It's just setting a boundary. Hey, I don't like this. Yeah, this is pathetic drama. You know? It's just like, fuck, like how much more? Hey, I don't like, I do that I've done that before. I stopped talking to people who talk shit about my wife. Okay. I just don't give them any more. I don't care anymore. Like, okay, I'm not going to associate with that person. It's not a hot take. It's a very stern boundary. And there's people who can't respect that. Those people are very immature. So I don't associate with them. It's not a hot take. It's not very in-depth. You know, this is a normal, real world thing. Why would I associate with a child? You're a child. If you insult somebody else's wife like that, you're a baby. You're a child. You don't deserve respect. So why? Like that's my value as a person. So why would I care? I can understand that the way you feel. I'm sorry about that, but you also have to understand that he is my friend. Okay. I wonder if he would have been his friend if he, truly speaking, if Froggy Fresh, this is a question, I mean, you'll never watch this video, it's not going to get a whole lot of views, but what the question really is, do you think he would have been your friend if you weren't attached to iDubbbz? Do you think that he would have been your friend if you weren't within proximity of iDubbbz so that he could get closer to him? Ask yourself that real question, man. Do you think that you guys are like these awesome LOL friends? Or is it just like, oh man, Froggy Fresh is attached to iDubbbz. Here's a weak link that I can exploit to try to get closer to the event and closer to fucking with iDubbbz. Ask yourself that. Do you really feel like this is a true friendship, or is this just because you're within proximity of a person? You know? I'm just saying, man. So I can't just tell him I can't be friends with him because Ian said so. That's why I'm asking you if I work with him, are you going to prevent me from fighting Career Clash 2? It's not a reflection on you. It's just a very painful and difficult thing for me that I'm dealing with that I need to keep distance from, and it includes this project. I would just appreciate a yes or no answer, man. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to be boxing practice tomorrow or not. It kind of depends on what your plan is, because Sam Hyde is banned from our event. If you want him to be there, we cannot accommodate that. My plan is to go to Rhode Island, hang out with him. So again, I asked, if I work with him, are you going to prevent me? This is a power play that Froggy Fresh is playing with right now. iDubbbz is being very real and very raw. Very human, and Froggy Fresh is like looking for iDubbbz to say you're banned from the event. That's what he's doing. Like that's just the normal human being read. That's the you can disagree, but you're wrong. This is a power play, and he wants to get kicked from the event at this point so he could prove a point. He could prove Sam Hyde's point that he is tacked onto. If I go to work with him, are you going to prevent me from Career Clash 2? I would appreciate a yes or no answer. I've talked to my coach about practice. Well, I'm not sure I understand. Does that mean you aren't expecting him to be at the event? Are you going to make content together? What happened? Oh, I hit the wrong button.
It's very
he has not mentioned attending the event. I don't believe he's attending to do so. I have not discussed it with him. I do intend to make content with him. Now that I've answered your questions, would you be respectful enough to answer mine? This event is really important to me. I'm just trying to understand everything so I can make the best decision for everybody involved. I need time to think about this. I don't want to be rash. So I'm going to schedule practice this week. Not knowing whether or not you're allowing me to fight in the event because I'm going to hang out with somebody you don't like. Okay. Yeah, it's just childish, bro. Froggy Fresh is kind of being a baby. This convo, wait, was this convo before the public drama on social media? I don't know. I don't understand why you're talking to me like this. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I explained to you the awful experience I've had with him. It potentially leads to another year of harassment. For Anissa, I can't really take that stuff lightly. Can you guarantee that's not going to happen? He didn't hit the view wall, but okay. This isn't just something I don't like. This is someone who's dedicated to disrupting an event we're running for charity. Absolutely. Harassing its two main organizers and sending his fan base to do his bidding. Yeah, I want you to fight. I just want you to know that pain he's caused me and Anissa in our event. Dude, because you're trying to tell me who I can and can't be friends with, I'm going to Rhode Island to work with Sam, and I'm scheduled my practices for this week. If I'm being removed from the event, please let me know. Dude, Froggy Fresh is a baby. Whatever, man. Okay.
clear.
I never said you couldn't be friends with him. I would just prefer you waited till after the event to post content with him. Yeah, that's weird. It's not weird. It's very normal. I'm not the type of person that can just make do whatever you want or what is convenient for you. I have a life and a family. You're not going to change my mind. I'm going to work with them. I'm trying to cook dinner for my kids. Sounds like your personal problems are interfering with your business. Bro, what a baby. Wow. Jesus. What do you mean all this kind of proves it's not about charity? What does that mean? Sounds like either your personal problems are okay. It wasn't my intention to dictate things to you. I just wanted to give you a perspective because we haven't talked about this topic before. Ultimately, it is your decision. I'm sorry the combo went in this direction. Okay, I'll fight. Thanks.
That I didn't.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, sorry, but Froggy Fresh is being kind of a baby. So what did you mean by all this kind of proves it's not really about charity? Hot take. I'm curious about what you mean before I respond to that.
Want to kick him from the card. I got to the point where I was like, okay, I don't want you working or training with Sam Hyde, but you're doing that, so all right, I'll look past it. I don't want you making content with Sam Hyde, but it seems like that's a real deal breaker for you, so I guess I'll look past it. It came to the point where I was like, can you postpone releasing content with Sam Hyde?
Look, you know me and Sam don't get along. You know, we put a lot of time and energy in this creator clash thing. I don't want it to be about Sam Hyde. So just don't let it hurt the event. All right, go train with him, have fun, but don't let it hurt the event. Don't make it about Sam Hyde. That's what I would have said to you if I was iDubbbz.
Right.
Well, that sounds like what iDubbbz was saying. So that's pretty much exactly what iDubbbz was saying. What do you mean? That's exactly what happened. Okay.
Guess what? Like, I didn't even plan on releasing none of the Sam Hyde content until after the event.
If you know who Sam Hyde is, he's...
I love that. I didn't expect... Dude, I hate people who do that. It's such a... It's just a childish thing. This is something that you could all relate to, is there are times where somebody will do something wrong, and then they'll say something along the lines of like, oh, well, I was going to do this for you if you just like were nice to me or whatever. It's like a manipulation tactic. Like, it's okay.
Whether or not you love him or hate him, you have to recognize him as he's the most talented comedian alive. He's the most talented comedian of our generation. He's going to probably be the greatest comedian of all time. He's insanely, he's a genius. I got the chance to go out there and train with him.
Listen, he's funny. I'm not going to lie. I can't take that away from him, but the funny is the best comedian of all time? Never. He's edgy, and that's cool, but it's not like he's like, what? What do you mean, dude? What do you want to suck his dick? That's fucking wild to me. Come on, bro. Listen, comedians are gonna be subjective. If you had to point to one of the greatest comedians, you could probably say something like George Carlin, right? Some people might say like maybe Norm Macdonald, maybe Jerry Seinfeld, I guess. There's a lot of people that talk about David Letterman. I'd say Jon Stewart, right? We all have our perspective, but like it's never, bro. There's no way. If you think this, God bless you. God bless you. Fucking Mater from Cars is probably a little bit of a better, you know. Eddie Murphy, yes. Willie Mack, no. Willie Mack is pretty awesome. Billy Mack, Bernie Mac. Fuck, I'm racist. I'm fucking racist. Shit. Sorry. Bernie Mac is up there. Chris Tucker's all right. Relax. All right, relax. Definitely Eddie Murphy, Bernie Mac. But you get my point, right? These are incredible comedians here. All right. Yeah, Papa Gut definitely up there. Yeah, tier 1, brother. Tier 1.
Welcomed me into his environment. He paid people to train me.
You moist critical.
He welcomed me into his...
Oh, brother, stop being hysterical, Hassan the Hun. I just want to change the way you look, whatever.
His environment. He paid people to train me.
I didn't even plan on releasing none of the
Dave
Sam Hyde
Chappelle's good
content
too.
until
Yeah.
after the event.
Didn't you tell them that? I thought you told them that.
Ian requested it through text. He requested that I did that. What I didn't like that he requested that because I don't think that's appropriate. I was like,
He didn't think it was appropriate.
Well, it is. It's appropriate. What do you mean? I don't like. Why do you find that to be inappropriate? Hey, this guy is like really toxic for my event. Could you just not make content? Okay, it's not really inappropriate. Okay.
I do not think that is appropriate. Do you think it's appropriate that, I don't know, 30-something-year-old man is publicly calling my wife a whore and a slut?
I think initially you can just buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this has got a separate Etsy page where she sells her pussy.
Yoko Ono was too concussed to fight in Creator Clash for the 2nd year in a row.
Life is so easy for a certain gender. All you have to do is say that my uterus hurts. What'd she say this time? Her uterus hurts? Or uterus fell
She
out?
had another concussion.
Okay. Probably your uterus fell out from getting blown out so much by toys.
Is that appropriate, Froggy? Do you think that's appropriate?
I don't think that's appropriate.
No, guys, that's just comedy. Insulting another man's wife is just LOL comedy, guys. Oh, okay. That's like childish comedy. And like, listen, if you like that, God bless. But like, where's the clever aspect of that comedy? Insulting another man's wife. You can't talk about, you know, like, oh, men have it harder than women, which Sam just said, while not being a real man and insulting somebody's wife. Like, that's just, there's like different things that make you a man, and one of those things is like understanding that you don't insult another man's wife. Like, I don't understand. These are conflicting ideologies to me. to talk about how hard women have it while not being a real man. It's weird. It's so bizarre.
Okay, you don't think it's appropriate that I set boundaries. I don't think it's appropriate that you are hanging out with a guy who doesn't think women are people. Like, I don't think that's appropriate.
Well, he's right, though.
I don't think you should be telling me when or when I can't release content. Like, this is my career. It's what I do for a living.
But you complied with it, right?
But I was going to anyways, but I didn't like people telling me that. I thought that was out of line.
Wow.
I don't know why he's saying that he was planning on waiting to post Sam Hyde content. We have the Twitter timeline of him nonstop posting Sam Hyde content. It's fucking weird. I don't know if he thought it was like a loophole to post on Twitter about Sam Hyde. So I think in his head he was like, I was gonna wait to post Sam Hyde content. Parentheses, YouTube video.
Like, cause like it's not my problem that you have personal beef with the greatest comedian in the world. If I go to Providence,
how am I the simp? How am I the simp? I want to know.
True.
Is it because it's a woman? It's because it's a woman, isn't it?
I wouldn't play too much into the it's a woman bullshit. It's not going to help you, like, your case. But, like, yes, Froggy Fresh is a very big Sam Hyde simp. You know, hey, but how can you not be? What is it, the Irish laddie? The Candy Man. I mean, come on, dude. Literally, I'm a diabetic for the Candy Man. You know what I mean? How can you not? How can you not? All right, that's real commitment.
Big gross dude. It's okay. It's understandable. He's big and he's gross. As soon as you simp for someone who's literally your partner, your life partner, that's too much. That's kind of gay.
If I go to Providence, Rhode Island, and get an opportunity to work with him, that should be my option to when I release that content.
Oh, no, that's the worst line of the video.
If I go to Providence, Rhode Island, and get an opportunity to work with him, that should be my option to when I release that content.
That's the worst line of the whole video. And I know that you probably don't know why, but just think about this.
If I go to Providence, Rhode Island, and get an opportunity to work with him, that should be my option to when I release that content.
Okay, so he's framing talking to Sam Hyde as an opportunity, which it is, yeah, for sure. You don't think it's questionable why the opportunity is arising right now? Why didn't this opportunity happen a year ago? Why couldn't this opportunity wait another 3 months? Why did this opportunity have to be satisfied right now? Like I was saying before, like, do you really think that you're friends with this guy, or do you think that this guy just wants to use you to be able to get within proximity of iDubbbz? Like, that's sad, man. That's sad. And, like, that's the internet. It's full of performative relationships. And I think that this is what that is, man. And, like, I think that you got used. And, like, over the next few months, you're going to see less and less involvement. Well, how sad. Because I still love Krispy Kreme. You know what I'm saying, dude? Like I said, I'm diabetic. But it's like, damn, bro. I feel so bad. Because it's like, you got manipulated, my brother. I hope that I'm wrong. You know what I mean? Because that's so sad. Like, I'm not trying to be like all cringe, but that's so sad. Could you imagine making a friend that you respect a lot? You could think it's cringe as much as you want. It's a little weird, but he respects Sam Hyde, and that's like, what a cool thing to be friends with somebody that like you look up to and you respect. Like, I would feel the same way if I was friends with like Jon Stewart or the State Puff Marshmallow Man, you know? And just imagine it turns out that that person just wanted to talk to you because, you know, you were able to be within proximity of somebody that you want to fuck with. You know? That's just hard. What a devastating blow, you know? That's terrible.
And it's got nothing to do with you. Not everything that people do with Sam Hyde involves iDubbbz, and I think that he misinterprets that.
I don't know.
We're not talking about people. We're talking about what you do with Sam Hyde, because you're in my event. I wish there were many layers of separation, so I really could be that disconnected. Unfortunately, I have to be around you. You have to fight at my event. I have to share the same space as you know, in the parties, at the event itself, and I don't want to do that. I have no interest in sharing that space with you.
So for him to tell me, hey, could you wait until after the event to release that? In my mind, I'm thinking, I mean, I could, but it's weird for you to tell me to do that because it's got nothing to do with you.
Another thing that contributed to Froggy getting kicked was that he tweeted at Nathan Barnett, a.k.a. Dad. He said, dude, I tried hyping you up at Denny's when we ate dinner, and they said they weren't fucking with you and that you were going to lose to AB. They don't even like you.
I wouldn't either. Dad seems like kind of a pussy. Sorry, no offense, but I'm just saying.
This is one of those things where it was like, oh, okay, so you basically don't have any good intentions here. You are just like, you don't like us. Like, I'm not here to play with people and give them warnings. Like, we're all adults on the card. I'm not gonna give you a warning. Actually, no, I will give you a warning if I think you have good intentions. The problem is when you tweet shit out like this and you have the text message exchange that Froggy had with me, I don't think you have good intentions. You're like trying to like ruin a relationship between me and one of my friends.
Bro,
Froggy
stop
deleted
chasing
that
me.
tweet, and I don't think he deleted it because he felt differently. I think he deleted it because he knew that it could potentially get
Bro,
him
stop
kicked from the
chasing me,
event,
pussy.
and would also make him look like an asshole. But he basically reiterated that same thing in a Twitter space.
When I was at fucking Denny's, I was all like telling them, "Yo, Dad's a fucking savage," and they're all like, "No, Dad doesn't spar with high level fucking competition. He's gonna lose to AB." And I'm thinking, these motherfuckers are.
So
like,
who said that? Who said that?
Fucking Ian and Anissa, like that's the way these motherfuckers are. And then they got Dad like riding for them. They don't even.
Oh, they said that about. Did they actually say that about him?
And it's like I wouldn't be like this, but if everybody's gonna keep calling me out, like I'm the fucking person that's fucking shit up, like that Dad's out here riding for them. They're all like, they don't even fucking give a fuck about him.
And in the same Twitter space, where
Wait, what did he say about that? Was that?
Said that?
and he deleted it because of that tweet. You're like trying to have the text message exchange that Froggy had with me. I don't think you have good intentions. You're like trying to like ruin a relationship between me and one of my friends.
Oh, I wonder if that's true, or it sounds like iDubbbz like denying it without directly denying it. But okay.
High level fucking competition. He's gonna lose to AB, and I'm thinking these
Wait,
motherfuckers are.
So who said that? Who said that?
Fucking Ian and Anissa, like that's the way these motherfuckers are. And then they got Dad like riding for them. They don't even. And it's like I wouldn't be like this, but if everybody's gonna keep calling me out, like I'm the fucking person that's fucking shit up, like that Dad's out here riding for them. They're all like, they don't even fucking give a fuck about him.
And in the same Twitter space, where Froggy
Though I will hold that I think that Dad's a pussy. So sorry. I'm just kidding, dude. He seems like a nice guy.
he says this, Sam Hyde, Froggy's hero, calls Nathan a rapist like several times.
That Nathan Barnett guy, I guarantee you that guy would rape somebody if he had the opportunity.
Yeah, legally he would rape somebody in Minecraft, by the way.
In Minecraft.
Yes.
What the fuck? Why is that funny? What the fuck? Why would you like that goes along with like false accusations. Like, oh, that guy looks like a rapist. Why would you say that? Okay, cool. I guess he's being serious, or he's just joking. Maybe he's just kidding.
If he had the chance to rape a woman, he would.
Oh wow! Incredible.
In Minecraft.
No, not in Minecraft, Keem.
I don't want anything to do with Sam. I don't want anything to do with people that think what Sam is doing is okay. It is not okay. Here's part of the Twitter space where Harley is sort of questioning Tyler with why he wouldn't, respond to Anissa. And I think that's a very valid question because you ask any of our fighters, and it's like, yeah, Anissa was the one who like solves problems. She is more communicative than me, and she's better at communicating.
Typical woman, am I right,
I fucking
guys?
suck at this shit. So Anissa is the one. She is the one to talk to.
How was I even supposed to know Ian and Anissa were mad when I get one call from Justin Tracy, then a text message, I respond to it immediately, say, could you communicate through text or email? I'm training, and then nothing else. I still don't know.
What's the last text you sent to Anissa?
It was probably some group message from
Okay, but
3
what was the
months,
last
4
text you
months
said
ago.
to Anissa, just you two?
I don't have one direct text from Anissa.
Anissa's
I have
never
a group
texted
chat
you.
with my wife and Anissa. There's a group chat.
Your
I do
wife
not
and
need
Anissa.
direct
I'm so sorry.
That's not a group chat. No, stop it. You can't say that, dude. I know how this shit works. Listen, when you have a group chat with your wife as a married man, that isn't a group chat. Okay, understand something. Maybe this is just me, but it's not just me. This is how men work. I don't talk to even my own family. My wife is the facilitator of every conversation. Half the time, my mother has to text my wife to get me to say something to her. Not because I don't love my mom. I don't know what it is. I'm just fucking weird. I'm just a guy. If you have a group chat, okay, that's what it is. It's because your wife is just communicating information. I don't want to be bothered to read and respond to text. It's so stupid. That's what that is. That's not a group chat, bro. That is a one-on-one with a fucking lawyer, all right? That's what that is. That's your lawyer on the phone. All right? Stop that.
Okay. Did anyone ever text you and your wife? What was the last thing Anissa sent you and your wife to you and your wife's phone? What was the last thing?
Tense moments in the Twitter space as Froggy goes to see.
It's, hey, Tyler, I'm not with Ian. I'm home visiting family. Ian called me not feeling great, and I'm just trying to understand what's happening or how I can help.
What's the date?
Sunday, March 12th.
You don't want to respond to that?
That sounded like Anissa trying to reach out and be like, hey, what's going on? How can I help? Wait, what the fuck, dude? Wow, what the hell? Which makes perfect sense. It's like, hey, I have like hey, let me deal with it. Let me talk to you. Let's get a different perspective in here. How can we resolve this particular situation? Bro, they're doing so much to resolve a situation with Froggy Fresh. That's wild.
No, because you don't know the context of that. You don't have the context. Harley, let me give you the context.
You can't do that. Like, listen, obviously context matters, but like half the time people say you don't know the context. They're just saying that word like it's a magical fucking like comeuffin. Like it's magic beans that you plant in the ground. You just don't understand them. You don't get the context. Sometimes you don't. What's the context? You're not responding to somebody for what, 2? Well, I don't know what at the time this Twitter was happening. I don't know at the time what time this Twitter space was happening. That's the word I was trying to say. But let's say it was a month. Why didn't you respond? You know, I'd say you get a couple days if you're heated to take a break. Why not respond to that? But there's no context to anything. Respond to that message. Hey, what's going on? How can I help? Or something like that. Basically what that sounds like to me.
A burner Twitter account instead of responding to that very serious and sympathetic text that was nowhere near threatening or aggressive.
Froggy wasn't able to give context.
Dude, W to fucking, damn, the Epic Mealtime guy. Because he worked with Sam. So, like, obviously he seems to be friends with Sam, which is fine. You do you. But he still understands the professionalism that, like, is required in an event like this. Like... like, so he's not being biased. Like, Harvey is the least biased person here. He's friends with Sam, and he respects the Creator Clash like situation. Like, there's no other person that's better to weigh in on this topic than him. And if he's like, yeah, why didn't you like respond to try to resolve this? And he's like, oh well, you know, there's context in it. It kind of makes you look bad.
Text for why he didn't respond to Anissa's call and text message in the Twitter space. Harley ended up leaving. The conversation went elsewhere. So he uploaded a Twitter video to explain the context for why he didn't respond to Anissa.
Anissa's last text, which was...
Hi, Tyler. I'm not with Ian. Okay, which right there is like, hey, I'm not going to be influenced by what Ian has to say or think about. That's what that means. Like, I mean, if you read between the lines. I'm home visiting family. Ian called me not feeling great. And I'm just trying to understand what's happening or how I can help. Yeah, that's pretty much like, hey, what's up? Like, how can I help this situation? Wow, a hot take, huh?
Checking on me. Anissa's concern text of hope everything's going okay was a way for her to try to manipulate the situation, to try to do further investigation into my friendship with Sam Hyde.
Wow, this young man, how old is Froggy? He's lost. He's so lost. The reason I say that is because what he just said was that like Anissa was just trying to pry. She wasn't trying to be a positive force, and maybe that's true. But to have that instantaneous assumption without anything else, that's not context. That's you having brain rot because you keep hanging out with Sam Hyde and you listen to him too much. I have friends who say wild shit that I don't agree with, and I'm still friends with them. But it sounds like you're not friends with Sam Hyde. You're his little bitch. You're a little submissive pee-pee poo-poo baby. You're not like friends. Like, he doesn't respect you one-on-one. You just have his opinions. That's not a friend. That's not you making like your own independent thought. That's his perspective. He hates Anissa. He hates iDubbbz. Fine, fair, no problem. But like, you have no reason to do that. So you're just listening to his perspective without knowing why. And then you're like, no, she's trying to be manipulative. What's the experience that can cause you to believe that? What's your experience? What's the experience there? What have you experienced? And like, listen. I understand, like, you know, your friend says something to you, right? So, oh, my friend told me this person's a bad guy. Me personally, this is how I operate in life. I don't really do that. Somebody could tell me that this person's a red flag, and I could feel it or I know it from experience. And I say, well, I have to experience it myself. That's very normal for me. There's multiple people that my wife is like, you shouldn't associate with this person. You shouldn't talk to this person. They're this. And she's right most of the time. But I still experience for myself because I think that that's what you're supposed to do. So, like, you have no reason to feel that way or think that way. You just, except for your friend, well, like, I don't know, the guy you look up to told you to do that, I guess. So
that was not an "Are you okay?" text. That was a Ian is not able to break your shell. Maybe a vague, concerned, manipulative text from me will be able to.
He thinks this text message is manipulation. No, Froggy, we wanted to solve the problem. Let me just say, Anissa is just trying to exist. You know, she doesn't want anything to do with the drama. She doesn't want anything to do with his shit. And I have brought a lot of it into her life. And I take responsibility for that. But unfortunately, a lot of people who think that I've changed or call me a cuck or whatever, they've decided, instead of saying that I've changed and that I'm the decider of my future, it's that Anissa has changed me. So
yeah, that's fair. Like, they almost treat him like a little baby. They're not like, oh, you've changed, you're this, that, and the other thing, you're a pussy now. It's like, oh, Anissa has manipulated you, right? This woman has made you weak, which is very bizarre. Which is like weirdly sexist. Just be like, oh, you're a pussy, I don't like you now. Okay, you know, but you kind of almost treat him like a little baby. It's kind of weird.
So she has been the target of a lot of hate, and I think it's really shitty. And hearing Tyler talk about her in this way,
the hate will go away if you just make the OnlyFans free. That's all you have to do. Make the OnlyFans free, and tell her not to shave her armpits for a month, and everybody will like you again. Everybody likes that kind of stuff. I don't like that kind of stuff at all. I hope my wife's not watching. But a lot of people enjoy that kind of interesting content. That's very art. The art is really what I call it. That's, well, I wouldn't call. I think it's disgusting, but some people would call that art to art. Right? So.
Reminder where it's like, Anissa's trying to manipulate you. What the fuck was I doing? Was I trying to manipulate you as well? Like, you should probably come out and say that because it seems really fucking sexist and creepy.
Epic
creepy
sexism.
Saying these things.
You know what I feel? I'm gonna be honest with you, and I really didn't buy none of this at the beginning until I was living in it. I kept always hearing people saying like, Anissa ruined iDubbbz, Anissa ruined iDubbbz, and I was always like, nah, whatever. Like they can work out their problems, and I was never buying that bullshit. But I swear to God, when like once you live an event, it's like, okay, I think Ian met the wrong person. I honestly think it's just like, I think sometimes you bond with the wrong person. It can take you to make the wrong decisions, maybe.
Are you projecting, or is that how you actually feel? Because, okay, I mean, I guess that can happen. We've all had bad relationships before. It's possible. They seem like they're pretty, I guess, happy together and long term. So
I met my wife. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I met my wife, I got better the more time I spent with her because she like was honestly a better person than me. But I feel like, dude, honestly, it seemed like so. When Ian, as soon as he starts messing with Anissa, it's like Ian goes from the person who would be dogging people, who would sue people, to then like his event that he's running is suing people. It's like a complete flip.
I'm so
By the way, we weren't suing Froggy. We have no interest in going to court over $15,000. We wanted that $15,000 back, but you know he wasn't.
It's not worth the legal costs, so that makes sense. They're just going to cut it. And well, I mean, listen, if you have that much money, they're so rich for a normal person. But if you have that much money, if you're a millionaire, maybe $15,000 is, you know, if it's like $300 to me, you know, that's what it probably is, like $300 to me. That's 15,000 of them. It might have been worth it. You know, maybe it was worth it. You got to, you know, 15 grand to get rid of somebody that's not great. It's unfortunate, but
giving it to us, so we have to leave it at that. You know, we're not suing him.
Froggy, if you're let back on, it's not like you're gonna make another OnlyFans joke about Anissa, right? Like,
no, I mean, like if they make me sign a contract that I can't, then I won't.
You know, I find it so strange because
so he's saying that he would still make fun of his wife unless they force him to sign a contract. Oh well, why would they want to work with you? I don't understand. Like, if you can we humanize this for everybody that's like doesn't understand where it's coming from? Imagine that you worked a regular job. You worked at the local fucking McDonald's, and the manager's wife came in, and you start talking about how she's a disgusting fucking piece of shit, bitch, whore. Do you think that maybe the manager might not like that? They might be like, "Wow, like you're a piece of shit." I would understand. You know, you might say, well, that's not a reason to fire somebody. Well, if you're saying it publicly, actually, it might be. It's inappropriate workplace language and technically considered sexual harassment in some capacity to talk like that, or some kind of like, you know, whatever. But the point is like, you know, it's very normal. Talk shit about like your boss's wife. Like, they're not going to be happy with you. So I don't understand. Why is this like a hot take? Like, this is weird. And I know that they're not bosses, but he is kind of like, he's the boss of the event. And he's like, you're representing his company in some capacity. Like, that's what's happening, right? We know that. That's normal. It's obvious. So,
like, you know,
that was a joke. That was a joke. Obviously, I wouldn't do anything more.
Okay, good.
I don't think Froggy respects sex
that.
workers. I think he has some really old, tired opinions about people who do sex work. I think
whatever. I don't care
has
about that.
A lot of weird opinions as well about.
I guess. Listen, I understand people that have like those ideas about sex work. I get it. I don't really care about that. Like, yeah, I'm a little bit more like liberal when it comes to sex work shit. I get it because the work itself can be pretty frustrating. Like, you know, it's gonna tear you down a little bit. But I don't think that that's relevant. I think in the way that you could say that I don't care about sex work or I don't like sex workers, you should be able to replace to also still respect the iDubbbz enough, if you want from the male perspective, to not insult his wife. You should respect her and not insult her. But from like a man perspective, you shouldn't be insulting another man's wife like that. Like, it's just not, you know, she didn't do anything to specifically prompt it. It's not like she's going around saying Froggy Fresh is a big, ugly fucking idiot or something. If she was, then it's fair game. But she's just existing. So you can't really do that. And if you've never had any interaction with Anissa and you still think that she's like a toxic, dumb bitch whore or whatever, like, I mean, like, that's your issue of not operating like a mature person that experiences people individually, instead of just makes broad assumptions based on like your friends making those assumptions as well. You know, we're on the internet, man. We're in a huge online hive mind where, like, there is, depending on the sphere that you're in, you're only allowed to think one way, or you get, like, harassed relentlessly. And so there's going to be people who are going to think that Anissa is an amazing, awesome, cool person, and there's going to be people that just think that she's a dumb, tired hoe. Anissa's probably just kind of, like, a little annoying and, like, a little, you know, like, she's probably a little bossy. She probably does have more, like, a little bit more of the primary control in iDubbbz' life, but that's not wrong. People, you can have that relationship. He seems happy. Who gives a shit? You know, that's it. But she's not like this hyper manipulative, like, I'm gonna get you, like, I'm the booger woman, the boogie woman, you know. She's just like probably just kind of a bossy woman, and maybe part of us interprets that as being a bitch because of the way that, you know, women who stand up for themselves are perceived as bitchy, or maybe she's kind of a meathead. And I don't mean to say like bitch in like a super derogatory way, you know. I have a very strong-willed wife. So you don't have to like her, but it doesn't mean that she's like a literal fucking demon. She's a fucking demon destroying iDubbbz' life. He probably just likes a girl who she probably just does more shit for him. He probably just doesn't want to think about his own life, you know what I mean? Especially now that he's got all those concussions from getting his ass kicked like twice at the fucking, you know, Creator Clash. So that's pretty much it, man. Not that deep.
Masculinity and shit.
Ian's masculinity has been completely removed via Anissa.
A lot of it's not explicitly said, but when you listen to the jokes, it's like, oh, that's actually just your opinion phrased in a comedic way.
There was some type of nerd fight last year, and Chris Raygun and all these people, it's like some big ethos worshiping party at these things, and I don't get it. I don't get what all this shit is all about. Like, everybody's there to worship ethos or fucking ethos or like touching ethos, titty or pussy. It's always that, and it's just like, what happens is people get all excited about it. And I think Chris Raygun was like, he probably thought he was going to go there and beat some fucking nerd up, and he was going to win. Like, I don't know if they're giving, I think they give away, like, OnlyFans girls there at these events. I don't know what kind of sponsorship going on. Like, if you win certain fights, I think you get to own some of these girls for some of the nights.
Awesome.
I don't know how it works, but I think Chris was like he had plans to go beat up a nerd and however he gets to, like, lease one of these girls. And so, like, he got there. Well, Ian was probably thinking, like, because I think man, I need to just stop all this, probably.
No, Froggy, keep going. I think you should keep going. I think the women of the world need to hear your opinions on these things.
All right, relax.
Talk more about how...
Relax, iDubbbz. You're acting like what we like to call in the music industry a munch, okay? Relax. But, like, yeah, sure, it's sexist. It's just, like, weird. It's, like, weird hearing it like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just, maybe I just don't respond well to that kind of bullshit, but it just sounds so weird.
Sex workers are property. That's a funny joke. It was super funny the third time that you referred to women as property.
Unfortunately, most sex workers, like, you know, real sex work, not OnlyFans, that's cheating, are property of their pimps. It's really unfortunate. So, you know, that's tends to be a space that leads to abuse, but not OnlyFans. That's just kind of like, you know, whatever you're showing your gooch or whatever to do on the internet, it's whatever.
That was the funniest one, because when you said lease, I was like, yeah, I know what a lease is. Even if you didn't do any of the Sam Hyde stuff, why would we want you at our event? Like, if you're just gonna blatantly disrespect sex workers and women and other fighters, saying that they're here to touch ethos, like, it is so disrespectful and shitty. I don't want to share the space with you. I don't want other people to be uncomfortable because you're there. Like, you don't get the vibe. All right? The vibe is sex workers and fighting, I guess. And you don't like the sex workers part. I don't think Froggy is doing Sam Hyde's dirty work by, you know, shit-talking Anissa. I think it's just pretty clear that he holds similar opinions to Sam Hyde and similar opinions to Sam Hyde fans. Hero is saying,
you have to ditch Yoko Ono.
Drop Yoko Ono, bro. It's got to be over. It's got to be over.
And leave the girl. Ditch the girl.
I think Ian met the wrong person.
Ditch the girl,
baby. I think sometimes you bond with the wrong person. It can take you to make the wrong decisions.
She's probably a succubus that's, like, sucking the life out of him.
Sad to see you didn't make the card again. When will iDubbbz?
I mean, succubuses are like, you know, that's like a sexual thing, right? So, I mean, hey, give me that succubus, you know what I mean? That succubussy. That's what I'm all about, brother.
Break free from that succubus that is holding him back.
Ian's masculinity has been completely removed via Anissa. Anissa's concern text of hope everything's going okay was a way for her to try to manipulate the situation.
I think initially you can just buy.
I have a genuine question. What is how are people taking this? Because this makes Froggy Fresh like look really silly, immature, and like conspiratorial. How are people taking this? Are they like, what's the? Because I'll never go on Twitter again. So like, what's people saying? How are they looking at this? Are they like, oh my god, iDubbbz is such a sussy baka? What's the public narrative? What's the public flow looking like right now?
You can buy that.
Yeah.
I'm sending this to Anissa's OnlyFans. It goes directly into charity.
Yeah.
Her anal bead package came out, and it was $100 for to look at pictures of her with anal beads.
I think they give
Hasn't moved the needle. Oh, okay. Well, you know, I guess that's life.
away like OnlyFans girls there. Like you get to own some of these girls. They get to like lease one of these girls.
So Ian really embarrassed himself. And so he didn't want Sam at his event because Ian doesn't want people who are bigger and more talented than him upstaging him. That's what it is.
Is Sam Hyde bigger than Ian? I don't really know. But like, I don't know, man. I don't think that that's reasonable. Even if Sam Hyde is bigger, which I don't think so, but I could just be wrong. Again, this is more, well, one, that he's insulted his wife, but like more than that, it's just like this is a public event, and Sam Hyde, like I said before, attached to the event in some capacity is going to make it look bad and make it look unprofessional. Like I said, if there was going to be this big blow up with Sam Hyde, which is Sam Hyde's goal, he constantly says it, that's going to be associated. You look up Creator Clash 2, Sam Hyde and iDubbbz stuff come on each other. Who the fuck is Sam Hyde? You look at the Sam Hyde, you start seeing some wild shit. Like, you know what I mean? It's not going to look good, and that means that the charity organization is going to fail. And then that means that they're not going to be able to help people in the future. And then you kind of see how that goes down the rabbit hole, right? Have I ever ate up dog? What's up dog? What is that? What is up dog? Oh, dude, you got me. I'm literally gonna hang myself. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. What's up dog? I like that.
Tyler is like repeating all of these narratives about how I've changed for the worst. The person responsible for my my change in a bad way is Anissa. Anissa is a manipulative person. Ooh. Oh yeah, that I'm like concerned about getting upstaged by Sam or people who are more talented than me, which is insane to me because I've put on this event twice, me as the main fight, and I've lost both times. That's pretty upstaged. As a side note, Sam Hyde has...
Yeah, I guess he's not picking the easy fights. He's getting his ass beat constantly, so... Plus, for those people, I don't know who he's fighting, but those people get like a nice career bump. iDubbbz is a pretty large figure, no? Like, I feel like he's pretty big up there, no?
Made it a habit to try to sound like a reasonable person by saying, if Ian and Anissa just asked, I'll stop harassing them.
Yeah, if Ian ever hit me up and was like, hey man, can you leave me alone? I'd stop talking about him. Whatever, I don't care that much. If you ask me to stop, I'll stop.
Well, that's just weird. That's just not true. I don't know what to tell you. If you ask me to stop... That's Sam that's just trying to get in contact with Ian. Do you? Whatever. That's just what it is. Like, you have to know that, right, guys? Like Sam is just trying to get in contact with him. He's like, I would have just stopped if he just said, hello, how are you? It's like, no, that's not going to happen, bro. It's another tactic to try to get closer to the guy. He has this, like, really bizarre fixation on iDubbbz. I wonder what it is. I wonder if it's because people don't like iDubbbz, and so it gives Sam, like, he feels like he can go after this person consequence-free.
On its face is already an
like
insane
for like consequence as far as like his followers not disliking him for it.
To say, of course, no one wants to be harassed.
If they let Froggy back on the card, I won't tweet at Ian or Anissa ever again. I'll shut up forever. How about that?
Damn.
I get to bring back someone on the card who doesn't respect me, my wife, other fighters, and in return, I have the chance of not being harassed by Sam Hyde. In case I have to make a future video. You heard what Sam Hyde said. If he's a respectable guy, he's not going to continue to harass me because he says, by his own admission, he doesn't care that much.
I don't care that much.
This is my request. I would like you to not harass me or my wife or anyone that we're friends with.
No, well, you have to say it to me personally. And then after he texts him, he's like, okay, well, you got to say it to me in person. And then after he sees him in person, he does like one of those things where he's like, oh, do you like the flower on my lapel? Is that what it is, a lapel? And then iDubbbz like, oh, and he's like, it smells good. He sniff it, and iDubbbz goes and sniffs it, and a pie comes out, and it hits him in the face. He's like, I gotcha. There's anthrax in that pie. Then he'll stop harassing him. Then it's gone to the proper point. Hey, right? There you go.
Also, harassment encompasses all the little loopholes, all right? You can't just then, like, refer to me as a goblin and be like, I didn't say his name. I wasn't talking about him. I was talking about a goblin. That's not acceptable. Another thing I want to make clear is that the decision to kick Froggy from the card isn't just for, like, me and Anissa's comfort. There are a lot of people who don't want anything to do with Sam Hyde who are fighting on our card. There are a lot of people who are our fans who want nothing to do with Sam Hyde. So we're trying to protect them.
I mean, I can believe that. when it comes to like more toxic like trolling spaces, you know, saying I don't like this person, it isn't necessarily going to make you look great. It's just going to be like, oh, let's target this person for harassment now, and give him the old Skeledilliungus. I don't even know what that means, but and so like those creators probably feel that way, but they're not going to express themselves publicly. So
we're trying to protect the environment that we're in, and we want it to be comfortable for everyone. I truly believe if we had Froggy participate through the rest of the event, it would have made the event worse, like noticeably worse, because we are all trying to work together to make the show as good as possible. And I think if Froggy doesn't fuck with what we got going on, he was going to make it difficult. One way or another, it was going to be difficult. In closing, I want to say that Creator Clash is probably the single best thing that I've ever done in my life.
All right, relax.
It has, you know, brought so much joy to me and Anissa.
Bro,
it has brought the most awesome people that I've ever met. It's brought them into my life, and I'm super grateful. And I want to keep doing it. And this event means so much to me.
All right, relax.
And I'm going to protect it. And I'm going to protect the fighters and the people involved in the event. And
well, if the way that you protect them is anything like the way that you fight, apparently you're going to lose. Okay. Because you've lost twice now, so
you know, I'm not, when it comes to people wanting to fuck around and mess with the vibes, I'm not going to tolerate it. You know, you're going to get kicked from the card if you're being a piece of shit, and if you're not communicating and if you're not cooperating. And I want nothing to do with Sam Hyde as well. So fuck that guy, and thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.
I paid money, I'm on the floor seats, and I see like some shenanigans going down. I take a photo of it. It's just people holding up a sign. It said Froggy did nothing wrong.
Okay.
Like
Seemingly innocuous.
Yeah, right. I go to this like after event, and Anissa comes up to me. She comes up and says, that tweet was really not cool, and I just apologized. I felt kind of like a bitch. I was like, why the fuck did I apologize?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Masculinity has been completely removed via Anissa.
Damn. I don't know what the fuck was happening there, but that was kind of funny. All right, yeah, man. Listen, at the end of the day, this whole situation is kind of... How the fuck are you evading? You're a crocodile. You can walk onto the water, out of the water, you fucking bitch. Sorry. Anyway. This whole situation seems kind of silly. It seems like a dumb little, like, war going on. Silly doo-doo little poop war. Like, whatever. I don't really care about anybody in this situation. They're all kind of cringe. But that's that. So Anissa runs the whole thing while iDubbbz trains. Oh, okay. So there you go. Cool.